All right, so I know it's been a while, right? And I apologize for that. And the shortage of videos hopefully will be coming to an end now because I got enough shit to talk about for a long time. And there's a stack of movies beside me over there to show in a haul video. So I'm going to kind of go through, I'm going to do this by store, you know what I mean? So I have enough to do. I think there's like probably like 15 in this bag. There's about 15 on the table, and there's about 10 in this bag. This bag will be the last one because it's the most premium of stuff. Well, in terms of price wise, might not be the best content or the best films, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So we're gonna start off with this bag that I got yesterday, which came from a variety of thrift stores. I think we went to like 3 thrift stores and got some quality shit. So let's take a quick gander. How am I gonna fucking do this? All right. So first film is a movie that I've only seen a little bit of, and it's called The Town, and it's directed by Ben Affleck, and it's got Jeremy Renner, who I recognize, and I recognize this dude, this older dude from like. The only thing I can describe him as right now, he's in those commercials where they're talking about like skip the dishes or Uber Eats or whatever, and he's like, order me an avocado toast. He's like, you're too young, you're too old, you wouldn't understand. And he's talking to a guy like half his age, and it's like the whole joke about it. So I like these actors. I like Ben Affleck to a certain degree. I've been, I mentioned this already probably in the last video a couple of weeks ago, but I have this thing with that movie Armageddon, which I really fucking like, and Ben Affleck is in that. He's like a big part of that film, but yeah, man. Hopefully any other films that Ben Affleck has directed have been like as quality, because I remember I think he did one called like Sicario or something like that. I know he did some sort of like siege type film, but I'm all for like robbery stuff, and the robbers are dressed up as nuns in this film, which I can get behind 100%. So yeah, this is I gotta give a spoiler for one of the films from that later haul on a film called Gangster #1, and it has Malcolm McDowell from Clockwork Orange doing the voiceover, and he's in the film, and it's a really awesome British gangster picture. And me and my girlfriend watched it. We thought it was so badass. We were like, this is fucking awesome. And it like from the get-go it was great, ended great, and I would highly recommend that film. But what I'm getting at is it got me on this like thing of wanting to watch more English gangster films, because there's tons of them out there. And I happened to find this film called The Limey, which fits right into what I'm talking about right now. Like, it's got Terrence Stamp, who I believe, isn't that the dude from Young Guns? Isn't that John Tunstall from Young Guns? But I'm pretty positive that it is. But anyways, this looks good. I'll give you the rundown on it. British ex-con arrives in Los Angeles to investigate the mystery of his daughter's accidental death. His prime suspect, the wealthy, heavily guarded music promoter Terry Valentine. He's no easy target. Oh, I fucking read that wrong. Propelled into an increasingly brutal search for truth, Wilson, with single-mindedness and terrifying precision, moves unstoppably towards revenge. So, I'm feeling like some death wishy kind of like Taken type shit, like and look at him. He's like, it looks like he's at LAX airport, and he's lighting a cigarette, and it's just with a Zippo. Zippo lighters are one of the most cinematic things of all time. And that noise alone. Great use of Zippo lighter in the remake of Dawn of the Dead. Here's a weird fucking movie. Or it's maybe not a weird film, but the weirdest, most mixed up cast of all time. This is a cast. The film's called Grey Lady Down. And it has a cast of Stacy Keach, Charlton Heston, and David Carradine. So to run down who those people are for you real quick, in case you don't know, Charlton Heston was in 10 Commandments, Planet of the Apes, Omega Man. He was the head of the NRA for many years. He's been in countless cinematic blockbusters, and he's a well-known, well-respected actor. Stacy Keach, he's been in great movies like American History X. He played like the the cocksucker that was running the racist gang that Derek Vineyard ended up despising. He was also in Cheech and Chong, Up in Smoke as Sergeant Stedinko. He's the guy that's like, Jesus Christ, it's turning blue. That's grade A stuff. Like, when it's bleach, it's not even Coke. But and also David Carradine, who was in Kung Fu. He was Bill in Kill Bill. of course, he famously, like, probably the thing he's most known for is the show Kung Fu, but other than that is his death and, you know, the events around his death, which were, you know, should have been kept to the privacy, because it should have just been kept private. You know what I mean? Because, like, basically, essentially, not to be too brash, but his body was found hanging in a closet somewhere, and he was beaten off, like he was doing that shit where he strangles himself and jerks off at the same time. Like, to me, all right, to each his own, but to get caught and it be spread around the fucking planet via, like, TMZ and shit, that's some shit, man. Gray Lady Down. So it looks like it's like about a submarine, but it's put out by HGV company there, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. Oh fuck, I forgot to mention real quick, I did an interview with this channel on YouTube. These guys reached out to me called the Super Mega Retro Dudes, or the Super Retro Mega Dudes. I'll put a link in the description. Like, they interviewed me for like an hour, and then I had to cut it off short because I had some shit going on, but man, it was fun, so look out for that. Next, this is something I had to get. It was $2. I forgot to mention the other movies were $2 as well. This movie, or excuse me, those other ones were $1. So this is from a different place. Okay, so we got the Apollo moon landings, the tape of the Apollo moon landings, which you believe them or not, whatever, but it's all of it, like, probably not uncut, it's probably cut to shit, but it's got the liftoff, Earth from Space, Another World, and Lunar Adventures. So, yeah, man, I'm totally down for this. I know me and my dad will get high as shit on legal drugs, legal marijuana, and watch this and laugh, man. Moving along, we got some good stuff here, man. Like, this one I didn't have in the collection. I've actually been wanting to watch it because I've been thinking about, like, Fritz the Cat and maybe another film that's going to come up in here, and that is Roger Rabbit. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? I gotta hold it on this side. Who Framed Roger Rabbit, of course, directed by, I think, Robert Zemeckis, who did, like, Back to the Future, I want to say, and I think he might have did Forrest Gump. That might have been Barry Sonnenfeld. I don't know. I'm not, like, that familiar with these directors, but Steven Spielberg produced Robert Zemeckis' film. Of course, it's blending live action with animation and making it very funny, very humorous. It's a good time. There's a scene in this film that freaked the fuck out of me. Of course, everyone remembers Jessica Rabbit with her fucking crazy fucking basically sexual prowess that was, like, exposed to kids across the country. But next, I've never owned this film yet, and I've only seen it once, and I really did like it. And it's directed by Danny Boyle, who I really respect. And that is Trainspotting. And I know that Trainspotting got a sequel recently, so I'll definitely have to check that out. But this is a good one, man. It's been a while. Here's one that I don't think I've ever seen in its entirety, and that's Weird Science, which is a John Hughes film. John Hughes, of course, known for Breakfast Club, the Vacation films, all that kind of stuff. Speaking of Vacation, the original Vacation just played at the drive-in the other day over here. And last week, me and my girl, we went and saw Jaws and Jurassic Park at the drive-in. It was fucking awesome. But she passed out and I passed out. So I set my alarm for like 10 minutes before Jaws was going to end. It was the second feature. Woke up, Quint's getting eaten. I'm like, holy fuck, this is crazy. And that was it. So $27, I got to watch Jurassic Park, even though I'm not the biggest fan. And then watch the end of Jaws. But anyways, it was fun nonetheless, and what I'm getting at is support these drive-ins that are doing this, because they're going to keep cinema alive right now, because you can't go to a movie theater. Go to a fucking drive-in if you have the means. Next we got Heavy Metal 2000, which was what I was alluding to when I mentioned Roger Rabbit earlier. Not the greatest film, not even comparable at all to the original, but still worth having on tape for me. Like, I mean, I'm definitely to the point where I'm starting to get stuff that I might not, because I've seen this before in the wild, but I'm starting to get stuff to tailor fit my collection a little bit closer, because I've got my animation section, and all I have is like an old DVD-R. Mind you, it has a label printed off, but it's a DVD-R of that film, and I just like to complete it in certain ways. You know what I mean? Like, those guys that interviewed me mentioned how I didn't have like certain movies and stuff on my wall, and I'm like, well, it's a choice because I don't have it on DVD. But once I have it on DVD, I don't really find a need to buy it on VHS unless I really want it, or you know, it's hard to explain. Like, I feel like I just fucked up the video there a little bit, but I'm not gonna re-record, man, because this is like 10 minutes deep, dude. Next we got Hollow Point, which is got the, I don't know what this dude's name is. I think it's Boo Bridges. He's like or Bubba Smith. He's like a big motherfucker. He was in Police Academy. But this looks good. It's like about a cocaine trafficking or something like that. I don't know. It was worth it for $1. All right, here we get into the real score of this store, if you want to call it that. And these are all DVDs. And I will go through the shittiest ones first, in my opinion. So I'm pretty sure that I saw this movie before. It's called Monsters. I think it's a found footage film. It looks to be what I remember, but I'm definitely interested in checking it out. It's directed by Gareth Edwards, which is the thing that like really like made me believe it was the film, because Gareth Edwards is the guy that put out The Raid. And The Raid is just fucking insanity, man. And Raid 2. So next we got Outpost, which is like a Nazi zombie. Like, these are $2 a pop. Like, you can't really go wrong. But Outpost, Rise of the Spetsnaz. I love Nazi zombie stuff, so I'm totally down for that. Holy fuck. Okay, I'll save that one for a second. Here we go. This one's called Battle of the Damned, and I bought it because it looks like a post-apocalyptic thing with Dolph Lundgren in his later years, so from about 2013, so 7 years ago. Good stuff, though. I'll definitely check it out. I love this kind of stuff. Yeah, this is the kind of shit I like watch with my dad, because like we laugh at like those sci-fi movies and those Space Channel movies back in the day. We would laugh our asses off at that type of stuff. So it's good stuff, man. Next, this is the biggest fucking joke of all time. Look at this. Independence Day, but spelt Independence. Like, it's like a rip-off of Independence Day, literally called Independence Day. What the fuck, man? I don't know. It looks like dog shit, but I had to get this just to be able to put beside Independence Day. I don't know if I keep ID4 in the whore or not, but oh yeah, it is. So that'll be a good joke right there. Moving on. All right, this is the third last film. Actually, I'm going to show that one last. I bought these two only because my copy of Dawn of the Dead is different than this one. So this is the Anchor Bay release. I have the Anchor Bay release up there as well. But this one is like, almost feels like holographic in a way. Like, it looks like holographic. It's definitely not the same, or maybe it is the same release. This is the Divamax edition. I don't know. It could be different in some way, but either way, I had to grab this because I don't think that mine had that pamphlet in there. It's worth $2 to me for that little piece of paper, literally. And you can never have too many copies of Dawn of the Dead. And same goes with this one, The Evil Dead, the Anchor Bay release. And the thing that I didn't have with this, once again, is the booklet. And this one's called Ladies of Evil Dead, and it's actually a little bit, you know, it's lengthy. It's got some meat to it. So that's cool, man. Like, I love. This is why I collect. This is why I buy used shit, man, because it's dirt fucking cheap. And if you buy it again, it's like, it's not the end of the world. But when you get into buying stuff like this next bag that I'll be showing in the next video, or not the next video, but the video after that, like, you'll know what I'm talking about, man. Anyways, the final movie of this one is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. It's put out by Wild Eye. It was $2, and it's called Shark Exorcist. Like, what's going on, man? What is going on in the world when there's a movie called Shark Exorcist? Like, what is it? Jaws meets Pazuzu? Like, is the shark, like, where the fuck is it? I gotta read the back. I didn't even read the back. I just seen it, and I didn't even look at the disc, man. I just grabbed it because I said, man, Shark Exorcist. It's actually not bad at all. It kind of, you know what's kind of good, because in the ass end run of like the mom and pop home video stores and all that, a lot of them had those machines to buff. At least where I'm in a pretty populated city, but most of them had the buffer machines. So when you bought the used stuff, it looked good, you know. And I think this is a case because this is obviously previously a rental, because it was a rental at Family Video, So, yeah. But anyways, I gotta read the back for you just because it's got to be ridiculous. Oh my god. The first thing I just fucking read, you're gonna need a bigger cross. Fuck, man. A demonic nun summons Satan to a small fishing village where he takes over the bodies of a great white shark and also a young woman. A chain reaction of evil grips the tiny community as the shredded bodies wash up and the possessed woman stalks the local populace. A Catholic priest arrives in search of his missing brother, and he must fight both teeth and temptation on land and sea in order to send both these man-killers back to hell before the devil's tides washes ashore for good. Like, this just looks like dog shit, man. Written and directed by Donald Farmer. Donald Farmer, I gotta hand it to you, man. You made a movie called Shark Exorcist, and I'm holding it in my hand. I'm proud. Even if this movie sucks, I'm proud to own this just because of how ridiculous it is. Like, I know there's a million shitty shark movies out there. Famously, Cinemassacre, James Rolfe, one of my fucking long time. I've been watching his videos for years. He did a video talking about like the top 10 or top 20. It might have even been top 30 shitty shark movies. Pretty sure this was on the list. I'm not the type of guy that's going to go to my way to buy all those movies or to buy any of them, really. Like, I don't like low quality stuff from like the mid 2010s and stuff, like, you know, the really shitty CG and all that. Like, I can't do. But with stuff like this, like, just like I said, how ridiculous and crazy it is, Shark Exorcist, like, I want it as a conversation piece. And plus, it's put out by Wild Eye. This is like a $20, $30 DVD at Cinema One, and I got it for $2, so I pat myself on the back. Alright, so I just filmed the first part of like this massive haul. This is going to be the second one, and the movies in this pile are arguably way better, you know, minus like Evil Dead, Dawn of the Dead, all that kind of shit that was in that last pile. But we're going to start it off hot and fresh because I'm on a roll here. We got From Hell, okay? From Hell is not part of the haul, but it's included because of the directors, okay? And I do believe I'm missing one of the tapes, but I'm gonna have to give it up right now. The Hughes brothers directed 3 movies that I have 100% seen. The first one was Menace to Society, which is the tape that my dad had to fix in my fixing a VHS tape video. And I love this movie. A lot of people shit on it. I have not read the graphic novel by Alan Moore. I've flicked through it many times. Like, I had my comic book phase. Like, people that are OGs to my channel know that I loved comics. I've read a lot of Alan Moore. I read Watchmen. I read, I didn't read V for Vendetta. I had V for Vendetta and From Hell were 2 books that I flipped through almost every time I went to the comic book shop, but I always ended up finding something else because it was like the heyday of like Avatar putting out like the Night of the Living Dead comics and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, fuck it, man. I'd rather get this stuff. I'd rather buy the weeklies than buy these collected things, even though I probably would have enjoyed those collected things more than the Night of the Living Dead comics by Avatar. But they were still pretty fucking good. And there was one comic book series put out. It was like 5-issue mini, and it was all about the zombies' perspective. And like, this guy was like, wow, like I'm dead, but I know what I'm doing. And he's like trying to go up to this guy and talk to him. And at the end of the book, basically, he's going up to this guy and he thinks he's being like, wow, like, help me. But really he's like, ah, so the guy kills him. But long story short, From Hell, about Jack the Ripper. It's got Johnny Depp. I love me some Johnny Depp. Matter of fact, last night, me and my fucking girlfriend, we watched Sweeney Todd. Sweeney Todd is a good fucking movie. It's a musical. I forgot it was a musical, but my God, I love that movie, man. I think it's really good. Same with this. Like, people shit on it, say it's nothing like the novel, but for what it is, I really enjoy it. I love old-timey English kind of stuff. Speaking of the Hughes brothers, Dead Presidents. I had my first viewing experience of this just recently. Amazing. All right, Lorenz Tate, who is in Menace to Society as O-Dog. He plays this dude who's like a Vietnam vet in this movie. Like, this movie's all over the place. It's long. Prepare yourself, because it's 2 hours. It's 2 hours on the nose. But like, it doesn't waste any time. Like, there's everything in this film is there. It's high octane kind of in certain parts, and it's really, really fucking good shit. So, yeah, I'm probably gonna end up doing a Hughes Brothers director spotlight because I want to talk about this fucker. and I want to talk about Menace, and I want to talk about From Hell. And I'll have to check out what else they've done, because I think, I could be wrong on this, it might be the Wachowski brothers from The Matrix, or it might have been the Hughes brothers. One of them had, like, has changed genders, so you no longer call them either the Hughes brothers or the Wachowskis. You know what I mean? So I'll leave it at that. This is kind of a funny story with this one. So this was $10, and it's Gamera 1999. Okay, it's an import. And when I seen this, I was like, holy fuck, this is awesome. I'm gonna buy it, right? And then I open up the thing, and it says Extreme Video Imports. It says cannibals, zombies, giallo, smut, and wrestling. So I was like, oh shit, this is not this movie. This is some fucking import of a bunch of, like, crazy clips of, like, smut wrestling and giallo and cannibals and zombies. So I was like, fuck, this is awesome, right? Bring it home, put it in. Initially, I was super excited that I found an import of Gamera. As soon as I put it in and seen Gamera, I was so fucking disappointed that it wasn't smut wrestling and, like, zombie giallo shit. I was pissed, but, you know, it's still good to have. I love having Japanese stuff on the shelves, because I just think that they do some of the best artwork on the covers. You know, I've seen... Oh, there it is. I'm looking at the fucking back thinking it's awesome, but look at this side. Like, this is awesome, man. Hell yeah. Keeping on to the blaxploitation little run here for a second, we got Original Gangstas, which is a great film directed by Larry Cohen. Rest in peace, Larry Cohen, who directed It's Alive, The Stuff. Fuck. He's done a lot of good stuff, but Original Gangstas is really good. It's got Pam Grier, of course. It's got Jim Brown. It's got Fred Williamson. Basically, these OGs show up to their old neighborhood, and it's run by a bunch of, like, young thugs, and they basically, you know, like it says, it's time for some respect. This is good. This would go good with, like, a movie like Strapped, or movie like, it's not from the same decade, but if you take those exploitation films I'm always talking about called Enemy Territory and Game of Survival, this would be a good triple feature with that, because it's crazy at times. So I really recommend that movie. Finally got, matter of fact, hold on. Ah, fuck. See, okay, I knew I already had this on tape, but look at this. So this is Black Cobra. The reason I bought this because it's put out by Arena Video, and they're the ones that put out all those Wu-Tang VHS tapes and all that, but there's another, like, subsidiary company there, and it's, like, I'm not going to refocus it right now, but it's called Mac Video. Fuck it, I'm doing it. Like, do you see that? It's like a pimp-ass dude with a fucking gun. Like, that's so badass, man. I had to pick that up. It was like, what was it? I paid $5 for this, man. I paid $5 for that Mac Video logo, to be honest with you, but, you know, it's worth it. I love Black Cobra. It's property of Jon Stewart. I wonder if it's Jon Stewart from fucking The Daily Show. This might be the find. This might be the find. I'm going to save that for last, because I think that's the find. I just spoke about this in the last video. Dawn of the Dead, the remake. Finally got it on tape. This is also the unrated director's cut, which is important to point out because there's tons of stuff added in. I would also recommend checking out the commentary for this film on the DVD if you have it, with the director. A lot of people hate that guy because he, like, disgraced The Watchmen and fucking all these comic book movies. People got their fucking panties so far up their fucking asshole it's coming out of their nostril. So I think that director is competent as fuck. He did 300. He did this. Both movies I've seen by him. Highly impressed. Next, I only bought this because this is a damage upgrade, because I do have this. It was $1. But it's Psychomania. And I rebought this because the version that I have has got so much fake blood on it that it's, like, damaged, like, beyond repair. So I'm gonna keep it because it's damaged because of a short film that I made with my brother and for school and all that shit, and it has, like, history to me, but I wanted a good clean copy of that again. So Psychomania, of course. I think Arrow, was it Arrow? Where is it? ABCDP. Arrow Video put out Psychomania, so I would check out that version for sure. It's about a biker gang that comes back from the dead using the power of a frog, and it's great, man. This was one I bought on a whim. This is Hillbillies in a Haunted House. It's got John Carradine, who I mentioned. in the last video, I want to say, but it's got Basil Rathbone and Lon Chaney Jr., and it looks ridiculous as hell. It has a bunch of other, like, people of the time, like Molly B, Merle Haggard, Ferlin Husky, Sonny James, other people like that. It looks ridiculous, but I had to get it just because I love the cover. It's like a gorilla stealing a chick out front of a graveyard and like a creepy old house. Next is, oh man, this is a fuck up buy. Alright, and it happens to everybody, I want to say. I thought that I had RoboCop 1 and 2 and needed 3, but I have 1 and 3 and need 2, so now I have a fucking another copy of RoboCop 3, which isn't that bad, alright? People are always like, it's so fucking bad. I'm like, it ain't that bad. Like, it's not dog shit. I've seen way worse than that, man. Next we got, alright, here's some good classic stuff. So, Philip Marlowe and Sam Spade, I believe, came from the same writer. From Dashiell Hammett, I believe. No, Raymond Chandler did Philip Marlowe, and Dashiell Hammett did Sam Spade. But basically, we have The Maltese Falcon with Humphrey Bogart, and then we have The Big Sleep with Humphrey Bogart, which are both films that are very reputable. People talk about them. They have a very, you know, people talk about them in high regard. You know what I mean? And I'll definitely check these out because I've seen some Humphrey Bogart stuff recently, and I really enjoyed it. So. I believe the film was Treasure of the Sierra Madre, which was good stuff. Moving along for the final tape of this one. Glad to have this because I had Snatch. Now I got Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, which I think is better than Snatch. And even the guy that wrote the thing that says Lock, Stock, a must-see. I agree, man. I'll pay you $4 for it. It's got Bullet Tooth Tony from Snatch. It's got Sting, it's got Vince Vaughn, right? Yeah, was that his name? I can't believe I don't remember. Jason Statham. Why the fuck did I say Vince Vaughn? But good stuff. There is one more tape, but I'm saving it for last. But I'm going to go to these. Oh, I forgot that Yes! Okay, so first one out of these DVDs, The Wizard of Oz. I don't own The Wizard of Oz. How the fuck is that even possible? I looked around, thought I owned it, but I don't. I don't fucking find it I don't see it anywhere, so finally got that. This is actually a good copy to have because it's got both discs. Paid $1 for this. You know what I mean? That's why you hit the thrifts. That's why you hit these fucking antique malls and stuff. You want the deals. Next, we got... I'm not sure if this is even going to play in my DVD player, but it's the first season of The Wire, and it's like the Korean... or it's the Chinese import of The Wire, season 1. But it says it has English audio and all that stuff, so hopefully it's good. But my concern is it says DVD 9, which I've never heard of. Maybe that will play in an Xbox One, I don't know. But I've always wanted to watch The Wire because I love Oz. I think Oz is like one of the best shows of all time. Here's a weird one, okay? It's called The Gladiator, and it's got Nancy Allen from RoboCop, and it's got Ken Wall, whoever that is. I'll read you the back of it. It says... Ken Wall plays a top-notch mechanic obsessed with creating an invincible automotive machine. So obsessed, he creates an indestructible weapon on wheels to avenge the death of his kid brother who was viciously murdered by a hit-and-run madman. It's directed by Abel Ferreira, who... That's a name I've heard before. I can't put my finger on it, but... moving on here, we got Jack the Ripper with Klaus Kinski. Like I said, I love Jack the Ripper. This looks like a modern-day take on it. Yeah, looks good, man. Oh, I'm gonna read the back of the Jack the Ripper to you because I think it sounds cool. Klaus Kinski, this is from '79, by the way, the same year as Lucio Fulci's Zombie, the same year as Alien, same year as The Warriors. Klaus Kinski plays Jack the Ripper, a respected doctor by day who often takes charity cases, but by night he is haunted by the memory of his abusive prostitute mother, memories which he fights off by stalking and killing prostitutes by brutally dismembering them. The local police inspector does his best with the limited witnesses available to solve the case, but he doesn't have much success until his girlfriend goes undercover to try and catch the killer. Contains graphic violence and nudity. Viewer discretion is advised. So the thing that's interesting about that is these little shitty, this one's put out by Digital Disc, but these like Frontline Entertainment, like the company that put out my copies of Sleepaway Camp that cut out all the nudity, cut out all the fucking screams and shit for some reason. Like, this one, how it says it includes it, I like that. So, oh, and the final tape, I have this on DVD. I picked it up recently, like in the last like couple of months, and it's Boogie Man. It's like a mixtape of a bunch of horror clips. It's awesome, man. $5, but I nearly shit when I fucking spotted this one, man, because I had it when I was a kid on DVD, and then I sold it stupidly for like $3, and now it's like stupid fucking money, like $20 or who knows how much it goes for now. But glad to have this, man. So yeah, I really appreciate everybody for watching and checking out the Facebook page, subscribing, all that shit. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Adios. Alright, so welcome to part 3. And now that I've gotten this far, it's all going to be one video, so all the part bullshit was bullshit. Man, I'm telling you, this next batch is filled with, you know, a little bit of quality, a little bit of probably shit, but stuff that, you know, I wanted to check out. Like, this is a double dip, and like I said, man, I don't like doing this, but when when this happens and you find something like this, people know that one of my holy grail tapes that I ever found was that sealed copy of The Killer for $1. And then I got The Killer, and I got, you know what, I don't have Hard Boiled on VHS. Wow, I'm a fucking piece of shit. But I have Hard Boiled, I have The Killer, both on the Dragon Dynasties. I got The Killer on tape twice, and I got some like rip-off stuff. I'll show that in a future video, but this is the John Woo double feature of Hard Boiled and The Killer. How badass is this, man? It's so fucking dope. It's got the commentaries, it's got everything. I almost like had an orgasm when I found this, man, because these are both movies that I really, really, really love. Yeah, I'm not even going to say anything. Look out for a John Woo director spotlight coming up soon. These are all from the same place, by the way, these ones I'm showing you here. This is pretty much a must-have that I didn't have, and that's Night of the Demons. I got Night of the Demons 3, and I got a DVD-R of Night of the Demons, but, you know, this was there. I had to pick it up. It's one of the OG Anchor Bays, so totally down for that. I've never picked up any Tokyo Shock yet. Actually, yes, I do. I have some. I just lied. 1, 2... Alright, so I already do have some Tokyo Shock, but these two, this is like a double feature, like little box set called Kunoichi Collection. It's got Deadly Mirage and Lady Ninja. So, Deadly Mirage, this is the the premise. During Japan's Edo period, the Tokugawa attempt to bring down the imperial court. Aware of the scheme, the Satsumata clan dispatches 5 lady ninjas to keep an eye on things. Meanwhile, a demon is resurrected to kill the ladies and destroy the world. So this word right here means lady ninja. So I'm just going to say lady ninja. So the movie Lady Ninja, in feudal Japan, the evil Akari Kato rules the Azu prefecture. Under his command are the 7 spears, assassins trained in the art of ninjutsu and sorcery. When they kill the Hori clan, 7 remaining daughters swear revenge using the power of Lady Ninja inside of each of them, featuring Yoko Marzuro. I just butchered all those names, but I gotta show you the covers of these. So this was also $18, same as the Hard Boiled and Hard Boiled and The Killer double feature. Fuck, I'm talking for like an hour here. So there's those, look dope. Can't wait to watch those. I kind of got to be in the mood to watch this kind of stuff. Alright, so moving on. This is, you know, I've ranted about this company in the past, Cinema One, and how expensive they are, but I did go there and buy some stuff. All this stuff was reasonably priced, though, so I'm excited about that. Got some more blaxploitation. I ended up getting, like, a lot of blaxploitation here. We got The Take and Black Gun, which are 2 films. I believe I have Black Gun on a Mill Creek, but I don't think I have The Take, and it was just too cheap to put down. And like, I'll read the synopsis for these ones because they're good. Terry Sneed, played by Billy Dean Williams, is a well-known cop brought in by Police Chief Ray to quell a crime wave that has gripped Paloma, New Mexico. Already on the payroll of local businessman and crime chief Victor Manso, played by Vic Morrow, corrupt police captain Frank Dolick finds it hard to control Sneed, who is pressuring low-level hood Danny James for information, but in fact, Sneed is in the business for himself, and even has his own business manager to help him shake down anyone he can for a payoff. So it looks like he's a crooked cop, I guess. Black Gun. When a group of revolutionaries rob a mafia-run gambling operation, nightclub owner Gunn tries to protect his politically radical brother Scotty from the mobsters and from the police who are looking for him. But after Scotty is violently murdered, Gunn hits the streets looking for revenge, chasing down the killer in his white Rolls Royce. Gunn hooks up with his brother's revolutionary friends and the cops for an explosive showdown with the mob boss and his gang. The film stars cult legends Jim Brown, Brenda Sykes, Martin Landau. So I love Martin Landau, he's been around, you know what I mean? Anyone that's a fan of like Ed Wood should know who that is. Fuck. This is the longest I've ever recorded, like it feels like, man. Next we got, this is a 6 feature. It's got Soul Team 6. It's got the Black Six, which stars a bunch of like professional football players at the time. The Black Gestapo, which is not as good as a film coming up here. Black Brigade, Black Fist, The Black Godfather, which I love, Fighting Mad. So those are 6 movies. I've only seen 2 of these. So fuck yeah. And I love the cover. It just looks so badass. Yeah. When Cinema One has a sale, they do have a sale. You got to give them that. This one I picked up just because I thought it was outrageous. It's called Ninja Zombie. It's put out by AGFA, and they put out like a lot of like kind of like just low budgety kind of stuff. But this was like an 8mm film from Chicago that made its way to DVD, and I'm willing to check it out. You know. Next we got, this is put out by Good Deed Entertainment, and it's an anthology film called Nightmare Cinema, and it takes place in a movie theater, which is cool because I got a movie that takes place in a movie theater, not Demons, but it's like, I forget what it was called. Was it in the tease? Yeah, I'm not sure what it was called right now. Fuck's sakes. As soon as I end this video, I'll find it, but yeah, looking forward to watching that because I love me some anthology stuff. Next we got one by Severin. This is The Devil's Reign. It's got William Shatner. It's got Ernest Borgnine. It's got Ida Lupito. It's got John Travolta. So definitely looking forward to this one, man. Severin puts out some really good stuff. Next we got a documentary on Christopher Lee. A Legacy of Horror and Terror, a feature documentary. So of course it's got Saruman from Lord of the Rings. I love Lord of the Rings. I'm not anal about it, but I've seen the movies multiple times. We've got The Mummy, of course. We got Frankenstein's monster, and of course we got Dracula, and then Count Dooku, I want to say, but hell yeah. And the last but not least, this is Ken Wall. Oh shit, Ken Wall. Oh, this guy's in that movie with Nancy Allen, but it's called Omega Syndrome. And it just looks like really crazy. It was like a dude with a fucking, like a crazy looking gun, and he's got like a S&M mask on. And on the back, there's like a RoboCop variety store-esque robbery happening. I'm totally into it, man. So that was the haul. That was a long fucking haul, man. I appreciate anybody that stuck through to the end. And yeah, man, definitely look forward to more videos coming up soon. So adios.